Okay, so formally, welcome to the Miracle Thinking class. Okay, so this is the first day. We're gonna go over the overview, and we will also have activities for you guys to practice regarding pattern and irregularity. For the learning process of our class, um, this will be online like this. Okay, and um, I will be the facilitator and also your group advisor. Whenever there are some consult time, then I will look at your work and provide feedback. Okay. I'm glad that we have this technology so that we could also do this class online. Okay. There will be some activities for you guys to practice regarding the content, and you will gain the skill on problem solving, on creative thinking, on team working. Okay, and you will also need to do some self-direct research for this class. Okay, you will be able to learn from your peer work as well. So this class separate into 3 modules. The first week, we will combine the introduction and the pattern and irregularity content, and also activity. Okay. The module 2 will be week 6 to week 10. This one we account for the week that we will actually have class. Okay. For the week that we have day off, then it's not count. Okay. Module 2 will be related to unique creation. Then the last one, which is module 3, is the integrated creation. So this module gonna have more of a group work. This is the timetable. For our module 1, will be 5 weeks. We don't have holiday during the module 1, but after that, during the exam week, we will not have this class. Okay. So the green one, you can say that is your day off for this class. Okay. And then it will be our module 2, okay, which our class is on Tuesday. After that, you have 2 weeks off from this class, okay, during the April. But I would like to start the class on the 16th April if possible, because you already have 2 weeks off, right? And also it will be the first day for module 3. Otherwise, you need to take the class on the 20th instead. So in my opinion, if possible, I would prefer have the class on the 16th April. I will inform you guys again and also discuss with you guys. And then our class will be end by the 14th May. Okay. On the right is in Thai, but the red one mean is the holidays. Okay, in Thai. And the blue one is like the day to have the class instead of the holiday. Okay, but for the 16th, as I mentioned, I will inform you guys again. Okay, I hope it's clear here. And our class, we focus on 3 main skills. The first one is systematic thinking, which I will also guide you guys on that. Then the analysis thinking. You guys already built some of these, but there will be some suggestions from the class for you guys, okay? And the creative thinking. The learning outcome for the first module, pattern and irregularity. You will have the ability to observe and connect change in pattern, both in events and objects, or you'll be able to observe and witness the emergence of new patterns. Okay, I will have more example regarding this, for the following slide. Okay, I saw a student just join. You can send a direct chat to me. I could check the attendance for you. Okay. For learning outcome module 2, which is a unique creation, you will have the ability to apply the impact of pattern change to diverse objects, like different objects, allowing you guys to craft distinctive and original creation. For the last module for this class, okay, since we separate into 3 modules, you will employ design principles, okay. You will have the ability to voice your opinions and engage in constructive discussion. Since this module focus on team working skill, and you will also need to have conclusion from the team. Through collaborative efforts, so you guys foster innovations effectively and also combine novel concepts stemming from diverse opinions and ideas. Okay. This is the overview of the learning activities for this week. The first week, I introduced the course regarding the learning outcome and establish agreement in online classroom. There will be practice problem that I will explain to you guys and also share the example before I let you guys work in a group. We are planning to have a group of 10, so my suggestion would be randomly. I will set like a breakout room randomly because I look at you guys major. You have control system and instrumentation engineering, 2 people, IT around 28 people, and multidisciplinary science 4 people. So I would recommend to like randomly set a group of 10, okay, for today. And for next week, gonna be activity assignment, okay. This will be a group of 2 to 3 students. You could like talk with your friend before next week, like, okay, who's gonna be in the same group, okay, for next week. This week, I already prepared a Canva link for you guys to do the group work. You will just need to know who will be in which group, and then you use that link, and then I will just download it by myself. But for next week, you will need to turn in the assignment on LEB2. Okay. Then week 3, there will be a video that I will recommend you guys to watch, and then I will recap it, and I will inform you guys regarding the final assignment. We will also have the time for consultation. I will make a table so you guys can put your name on which day or time that you would like to have consultation with me. Then for the final assignment for module 1, you need to give 3-minute presentation in the classroom, and I will summarize the key point and discuss regarding your presentation, okay. And there will be a survey on LB2 for you guys to provide reflection regarding module 1. Okay, then we will have a break for a week. Okay, I mean a break for a day of this class. Okay, so that's the plan for module 1. This is for module 2. I will not go into detail because once we get into module 2, I will discuss in detail with you guys again. But just so you know that there is a similar pattern for module 1 and module 2. There will be total of 5 weeks as well. And then we will begin with the learning principle, identify, since we learn to identify pattern, this one we will also identify the uniqueness of each object that I provide. Okay. And then there will be more challenge activity for you guys. Okay. After that, I will inform you guys the final assignment for module 2. There will be consultation time and you guys will present your work in the class. Okay. So it's similar pattern for module 2. Just the content are different. Last one, module 3. Similar pattern, but this one will be focusing on the integrative creation. There will be a video for you guys to watch before the class. I will lead you guys regarding the content and example. And after that, there will be activity for you guys to practice. I will inform the final assignment for module 3. And then there will be consult time. And then, but this one for module 3, you guys will need to, as a group, you guys will need to record a video by yourself. Okay. Because another section will watch the video. Okay, as well. I saw a student just join. Please, if you haven't checked the if you haven't scanned QR code for attendance, please message me. Okay, so I will do it later for you. Okay, and that will be our class. Okay. For the learning step, okay, we start from the base. The base is that we practice identify patterns and elements in a logical and rational order of occurrence. It's like, what are the pattern? Okay, based on the select object that we want to learn. Then describe how the pattern has evolved over time. Okay, for example, pen, right? We used to use bird feather and then we put in the ink and then we write. But we have learned that it takes us many time to put the bird feather in the ink and then we write, right? So we have learned that, oh, maybe we could store the ink to use for a longer time. Okay, so that's an example of some pattern that we could see. Explain reason for pattern change and what elements have changed. Okay. Compare cause of pattern change to make further prediction. So what are the cause of pattern change and what could be possible future prediction of it? Okay. So that's the hierarchy of knowledge that we're gonna build in this module 1. Regarding assessment, on the left, okay, let's focus on the left first. Beginning next week, right? You submit your work on LEB2. Each work, there will be some criteria. Each criteria, I will assess in this level. If you did not submit, it will be no evidence. If you submit, then I will assess based on the criteria that I will discuss with you. Okay, and these are the portion of the assessment score. Okay. On the right, this is the total grade. Okay, meaning that after finish all 3 modules, what are your score? Okay, and based on that score, then it will be your final grade. Okay, so based on my experience of teaching this class, I highly recommend you guys to participate in the class. Even though when it get into module 2, module 3, try your best to participate in the class and do the activity. Because last semester, for example, there are students that once get into module 2, he or she did not like attend the class, did not submit the work. When I follow up for the final assignment, like module 2, module 3, the quality of the work dramatically dropped. Okay, so that's why I suggest you guys this way. Okay, next is the portion of score divided by module. For module 1 will be like 20, module 2 30, module 3 will be like 40. Okay, it's like learning curve. Okay, and we also have the affective score. Okay, I will have more information regarding this in the next slide. Okay, and for the portion of points for our 3 modules, okay, it will be 60% individual work and 40% group work. Okay, this is the like overview portion. Regarding the affective score, I need to get a little bit faster. It's divided into like, okay, module 1 approximately 2.5, module 2 this, and module 3 that. And for module 3, you will also have the point for participation in group. This one will come from your teammates. Okay, like after you have done all the work, your team member will also assess regarding the overall team working skill. Okay, regarding each module that you see, right? I will provide a little more information. Give me one moment here. For the criteria 1, will be regarding work submission. Okay. For example, if you, let me take a look a little bit. If you did not submit the work or submit late, let's say from the team, say more than like 4 days, then it will be like level 0 for criteria 1. Okay, module 1 have 2 criteria 1 and criteria 2. Okay, but if you submit the work like late 3 days, but like you have you take a medical leave or something, yeah, will be like level 1. Okay, but if you submit all the work on time, no problem, then level 2. Okay, then criteria 2 is regarding attending the class and also participation in the class. Okay, then you'll be like level 2 for criteria 2, but for level 1, you attend the class but like didn't participate in the class, and if you will be absent, you inform me ahead of time, and if you need if you have a like medication leave, then you need to provide a note from the doctor. Okay. Level 0 mean you attend the class but like 15 minutes late, more than 3 times, or you did not attend the class and did not have like the note from doctor or the note that you have a like conference that you need to go more than 3 times, then that level 0. Okay. Okay, so that's the affective score. LEB2, since you guys, I saw your student ID is 65, so it means that you guys are 2nd year. Okay, if I correct, then I think you guys familiar with the LEB2. Only some of you might have the problem with it, then please contact the staff as I mentioned. Oh yeah, and this one is more like video to help you guys using the LEB2. Okay. Cooperation in the online classroom. So we learn online, right? It's challenging as well, in my opinion. You could keep your camera on, especially during like consult or something. Why I present this slide, it is fine whether you turn on or not. I'm fine with it. If you have question, you could raise your hand button. I will try to look at it. Or you could type in the chat box. Okay. Then usually at the end of the class, okay, I will ask to take a photo. Okay. I will inform you guys before I take the photo. Okay. But for today, since we're gonna have group activity, we might not take the picture of the whole class together. For the last group that I visit, I might ask you guys to take a photo together. Okay. Because I think as a group activity, each group might not finish at the same time. So once you guys finish and I already like provide some feedback, then you could leave the class. Okay. For today. Back to this one, right? I share with you guys. I haven't looked at the update one. We will practice observe and connect. Not really connect, but write it out. What are the change in the pattern? Okay. It could be like objects or events. And usually we decide the topic of interest and then we find the pictures, different pictures, so we can see what are the patterns. Okay. Once we be able to observe the pattern, then we could like predict what would be the new pattern. Okay. But it doesn't mean that the new pattern gonna be like positive or negative. It's not like fixed. Okay. It takes some time to learn regarding the cause and effect of it, similar to like social media. This one we discussed already. Our class activity. These are the 4 main points, like objective of the class activity. The first one, we observe what are the similar things in the patterns. Then we grouping grouping them and then describe what is that pattern. After that, we identify the within the same pattern there could be some change. For example, I gave example of pen, right? The bird feather pen, there could be different size, there could be different color of ink, there could be different material of ink. So that is the change within the same pattern. Okay, they are all bird feather pen, but they have some change. Also within the same pattern, there could be the common as well, such as they all made from bird feather, right? Something like that. Specify what influence from a change, like what are the cause of the change, because I want the ink to store inside the pen longer because scientists or someone develop ink storage. That are example. Okay. I think I covered this part. Here are example of static pattern, such as floor pattern, leaf pattern. On the left here is the pattern of clock. And on the right is we can see that is the pattern of seafood because we saw like fish, octopus, crab, right? I already put it, but from here we can see that clock. We can see that there are some similarity, right, in common. For example, the shape, like circular shape, the number, Arabic number or Roman number, or without number, but we kind of know, right? Okay, here this is 12, 1, 2, 3. Short arrow. Oh, the arrow. Long arrow. Sometimes have two, sometimes have three arrows stacked on top of each other. From the clock here, we could see different pattern a little bit. For example, this one, it look like sundial clock to me. Like we need the sun to tell the time on the clock. But others, it's more like a normal. But this one have pendulum, right? That should be another pattern. But this one is more like a nowadays, right? That we can use the battery for the watch. This is a dynamic pattern. It includes like movement. It change along time. Okay. I saw a student just joined, but I'm not sure whether you just joined or your internet dropped. If you just joined, please send a message to me so I can at least check that you come to the class today. And this is the example of water cycle when it's evaporate and it's condensed down. So that's the cycle, which is called the dynamic pattern. The type of the repetitive loops. So if you see this clock, that could be categorized into group or into pattern, right? No repetitive loops. For example, technology. When people invent, that's good. Thank you for letting me know. When human develop new technology, we tend to change along the time. I mean, using it, right? Nowadays, we didn't really use this phone anymore, right? Nowadays, we have like mobile phone or even clock, watch. For the fire, nowadays, we still use fire for barbecue, but not for really for the light, right? Because we have the electricity light lamp. My point is that the technology developed along the time. Some of them we may still use it, but some of them we use the one that more efficient. And for human life, or even start from monkey, we develop, right? Even robot at MK restaurant. Okay, kidding. So that's the no repetitive loop. Okay. Here is example of progress of the pattern. First with the sundial, then the pendulum, then the quartz or the battery one. Okay. Now, your activity here, I will divide you guys into a group of around 10 people. Some group could have more because we have around 32 people in the Zoom class right now. um, you could introduce yourself before you do the work. You could discuss what topic that your team are interested to find a picture and categorize them into group or like pattern. My recommendation is that if you pick topic like transportation, I would recommend you guys to pick like, for example, ground transportation or air transportation or water transportation. So that is not too broad topic. Okay. And it's applied to other object or technology as well. Try to have some confinement as well. Or it could be topic regarding communication. Could be topic regarding data storage or data recording. But this one is quite broad as well. Or could be exchange, regarding exchange. For example, in the past, people grow potato. They exchange with farmer who grow carrot. Okay. But nowadays there are medium such as money to exchange. But you could choose the topic you could discuss within your team. It could be other topics. Okay. And here is the example of washing equipment. Based on here, what do you guys see? What could be the same pattern? You guys could type in the chat box. They are all contain water, right? Yeah, for washing, right? And from manpower to machine power, that's great too, because you can see this picture is like person standing on something, right? And this one using hand. Okay. When I categorize it, oh wait, so I could discuss here first. You will group the pattern, right? For example, this one is washing equipment. I could group it into like this. Okay. The first one is use part of our body. The second one is use small device and apply force using our hand. And within the same pattern, we can see the difference as well. This one using like brush and this one using like a tray to wash. And pattern C, we use the large equipment harnessing various source of power. Could be like mechanical, still need human energy, but others could use like electricity. Okay, so these are example, okay, of identify pattern. So here are how we could write it out. Okay, it doesn't have to be this long, but at least we are on the same page of what it is. Okay. After that, now we analyze within the same pattern, what are the common, what are the change. Okay. I encourage you guys to look on the row. Okay. The first row, pattern A. The common thing are, as you mentioned, water, right? Using human force. Using could be detergent, chemical or soap, right? And for chain within the pattern, use hand labor or foot, right? So they are different. Different type of detergent could be that they use. And for pattern B, we still use water, we still use human force, we still use chemical to clean our clothes. There are small tools that we use, okay? Chain between pattern, we could use different tools such as this, that, those, right? And chemical could be different. Things that we rub against could be different. Even the material could be different. And last one is like a large equipment, okay? So here are example of analyzing what are in common and what are changed. In my opinion, this course is not really difficult, but there are some like topics that we need to understand. Okay, this is in common, this is the change between the pattern. Okay, so I encourage you guys, if it's not clear when I explain or provide example, I encourage you guys to ask. Okay, so we are on the same page. Then we will look at the cause, potential cause that lead to the change from pattern A to pattern B, and then from pattern B to pattern C. Okay, so identify the factors that influence the change. What factors contribute to the creation of a new pattern? Okay. Here is the conclusion table. Okay, so here is similar things that we discussed already, and here the orange one, this is the factor creating new patterns. This is the example. Okay, for example, from A to B, right, from changing from pattern A to B, we would like to minimize the use of manual labor. We would like to save our energy and avoid exhausting tasks by using alternative method, okay, or using tools to help. The invention of small tools, because there is an invention of small tool to facilitate the washing process, okay. And then from pattern B to C, okay, it could be like people in a family are bigger, and then we would like to save our energy. So, and also like people invent the machine to do the washing, or it could be the availability of the electricity that we could use electronic device machine. Okay, so here are examples that I asked you guys to practice on the activity today. Okay, is there any question from you guys that you may have now? This one, I think I will pause here. It's already quite a lot of information, so I will take any question that you have, and meanwhile I will create the breakout room.